Good morning, everyone. How are you this morning? How was your Monday? Seriously, how was it? Was it good? I hope so. Because yesterday the main thesis of the entire reading was development of skills. I think that's important. And let me tell you something. Developing some skills of my own. I learned some things yesterday. Looked some stuff up and decided to engage in a little bit of learning. Had some really nice takeaways from it. So we're going to see if that combined with a little bit of practice will pay off. Obviously it's not here. It's fine. But you know, in seeking out lessons, and what it is in miniature painting, seeking out those lessons, I saw a lot of the mistakes that they were talking about in my own work, and there were people kind of praising what I had done, and I can show you some examples of it because I got them right here. Yeah, that's the sound of a lot of minis kind of clattering around. So let's have just a small look here at some miniatures I painted. For example, I think this is one I kind of like. There's a skeleton that I painted. Of course, they're not all that great. The zombies, for example, the zombies just kind of came out a little monochrome there. I'll probably have to go back and redo those. No big deal. And then what else do I have? Well, got some spiders there. These are giant spiders, by the way. I've got things I'm dropping. Here we go. A small little mushroom here that I kind of red capped. Don't know what they do, but I know that they're there. Got a lizard man who's a little monochrome. And then finally, how about this one? A werewolf. They're tabletop ready, but they're not exactly perfect. Like I said, some of them I might redo, the zombies being among them. And then others, well, I still have many others to get through. I'm going to learn some new techniques, and I'm going to see if I can apply them, and maybe even get, I was just using acrylic craft paint, which it works, but you're kind of constantly fighting it. Anyway, let's get down to it today, shall we? So let's see if we build on what we were told yesterday. Starting with you, a Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Not really celebrating a lot of opulence, are you? Hey man, it is not a glorious life. Definitely not glorious in any way, shape, or fashion. As a matter of fact, right now it's probably looking a little, how can I put this? Well, it's looking like there's a little fear, maybe, right? Like, this is not the greatness of the soul right now. There's a little mistrust going on. So, you know, when she's upright, we got all the good stuff going on. We got the glamour, we got the opulence, we got that you know, we got the best of the soul, the best of what that has to offer. We don't have that today. So what are we thinking? Got an 8 of Swords in reverse, which is great. We got a 10 of Swords in reverse. And the Sun in reverse. Holy crap. That's a lot of reversals today. But I can tell you, when it comes to the swords cards tend to have quite a bit going on. And that 8 of Swords, that's usually, your problems are a lot bigger than they are. Or they seem a lot bigger than they are. But it looks like we're facing a lot of the unforeseen, the stuff that, this is where your problems are quite bigger. They may be a little bigger than you think. There's an air of mistrust here again, because there's some obfuscation. But there's also difficulty in opposition. So, going from that to the 10 of Swords, I can tell you this much. The 10 of Swords in reverse is actually a pretty good card. This is good news right here. So there's a lot of, there's a lot of disquieting things going on. There's a lot of suspicion. There's a lot of kind of you looking around. Like, what's going on, really? And here it is. Here's the good news. Now, this is going to bring you some favor. This is transitory, though, because it's not permanent. So you're going to move from the disquiet of the 8, but you're going to be moving into some kind of advantage and success of that 10 of Swords in reverse. That power and authority is still there. So the question is, how are you using that power and authority? And then you move into the Sun in reverse, and this is all in the mind, so that's the good thing. That's all in your head. And it kind of needs to go, really. So this is where you will still get that material happiness, your entire way's lit. But think of this like, when it's upright, you're going into a very sunny day, you can see everything. This is sort of like the overcast. There's all those clouds, there's a dark cloud in your mind right now, and it's clouding your judgment, it's clouding your ability to reason, and not looking like a lot of fun. Sorry everyone, it's kind of, the air is like super dry in here, and yeah, don't have room for a humidifier, don't have a place to plug it in. Anyway, so my sinuses are really kicking today. Anyway, King of Pentacles in reverse. There we go, 4 of Pentacles, and an 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Oh boy. And being that this is the physical, with this being earthly stuff, that makes it kind of perfect to talk about. Because going with the King of Pentacles in reverse, hope you'll forgive me, I do have to kind of look these up a little bit here. So, with the King of Pentacles in reverse, this is very real weakness. You can say it's like a little bit of vice in here. So, you're letting that kind of take over your life. Whatever that is, whatever that looks like to you. What is it? Because if it's also a little bit of corruption here, I'm definitely seeing that, and it comes from this 4 of Pentacles, which is you're holding on to something a little too tightly. You know, you're letting this really consume you. But the thing is, what are you doing about it with that Eight of Pentacles? Because that Eight of Pentacles, I mean, did you suddenly void your ambitions? Because that's what it looks like. This looks like a little laziness to me. Altogether. You're kind of holding on to what was pleasurable. What was, you know, just kind of what feels good at the time. And a lot of this looks like a very big signpost. And so far what it looks like is you're kind of set on a little bit of cruise control. You're kind of just wanting to coast along, and that's not how it's going to be. You think, okay, well, I have this book, right? Now I know all there is to know about this subject. Well, having the book is the first step. You actually have to crack it open and read it. Do you see the difference there? Because that is the difference. You need to be able to crack that book open, you need to be able to read it, you need to be able to study it, and you need to be able to apply it. That's where your skills come into play. That's how you build them, that's how you develop them. You can only really rest on your laurels for so long. Now look at the examples I just showed you from the miniatures. I can tell you right now, some of those are going to need to be repainted. Some of them will. Alright, let's go to the spiritual here. We got a Two of Wands. Justice in reverse. And we got a Two of Pentacles in reverse. Two of Wands. You got the whole world in your hands. But you got to make a choice. Having that Justice in reverse is not looking like a good sign, I can tell you that right now. Because it looks to me like you're being a little excessive. It's almost a sense of entitlement, really. And then when you go to that Two of Pentacles in reverse, oh boy. You're kind of simulating your enjoyment. Alright, so you're not, this is sort of like a juggling act, but it's done in reverse. You're just kind of pretending, hoping that it'll all work out. A lot of reversals here today, folks. A lot of warning. And to you watching right now, if this doesn't apply to you, or if you think this does not apply to you, maybe now is a good time to kind of look back. Figure out, where have you been a little more entitled lately? You know, hey, I deserve this. Where's the reward that I so richly deserve? Well, what have you done to work toward it? I mean, look, I can tell you right now, there are plenty of people who saw the photos of those miniatures and they were like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. You spent 12 hours doing that? Yeah. What I really should have done was I should have spent that 12 hours on maybe just a few of those sets instead of 66 of them. 66 different individual pieces. It was several sets. But on some of them, you know, I have no issues. On others, I'm like, wow, I really overdid it on these areas. And that's the thing. You have to start being a little bit more honest with yourself. Yesterday we talked about you being the absolute best. You bringing your A game. You bringing your skills, and wherever they need developing, you bringing that to the table. You developing those skills. You figuring out what needs to happen. You know, drive your stock up, drive your value up. Yesterday on High Notes, there was a card that told you, know your worth. Know your worth and go get it. Because that's what this is telling you. You're not acting like you're worth it. And that's a problem. That's a big warning sign. This is not a great reading today. Or this is not a great message. Nobody wants to hear that, all is well. This is you kind of giving into that fear of letting go a little while, unplug for a minute. Get your head out of this space and get it into what's going on right here and now. And that's where you need to be. You need to make that decision for yourself. Stop being so excessive. Stop being so judgmental, too. Really stop being so judgmental. I can probably do with that myself. But what I see here is someone who kind of thinks that they know it all. They've stopped learning. I hope it's not you. Because every day is an experience. Every day is an opportunity to learn something. Alright, so I'm going to get out of here. Going to get this thing edited down and out to you. I know this was a pretty harsh message today, but just remember, I love you all. Take care of yourselves and each other. Always do what lights you up. And you know what? All this will fall away. But you've got to do the work. And just remember, as always, shine on.